Hola, bienvenidos a mi channel. My name is Jennifer Benavides, if we haven't yet introduced ourselves. I am a first-generation Mexican-American woman, but also a first-generation for college, grad school, and whatnot. So one of my aims in sharing and documenting all of these, journeys of mine is just hopefully I'll be able to educate and help inform others about the law school journey. So last time I came up here, I shared my law school reactions, and I love the responses I got from so many of you guys. You guys are really sweet. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your feedback and everything. They all mean really much to me. I read every single one of them. And so thank you. One of the top comments that I kept getting was whether I'd be able to share my stats of my, information of when I applied to law school. And I'm more than happy to sharing that. I hope to be very transparent throughout the whole journey and process. So hiding that was never my intentions. It was just honestly a lack of time in trying to get these videos out. And so anyways, long story short, here we go. I just wanted to give a general info that this is not my first time applying to law school. The first time I applied to law school was back in the winter of 2020. My senior year of undergrad, I applied to law school with a LSAT score of a 138 and a GPA of 376. And then obviously my letters of recommendations, my personal essay, and my resume. And I know the 138 LSAT score is low, but I still applied anyways, because during that time I applied, obviously in the midst of pandemic, but I applied during a time in which I was afraid of taking an active step towards going to law school. And that's just because I have always said I wanted to be an immigration lawyer for years. And so in my mind, taking an active step towards actually achieving that goal, it just scared me. It was just dang, you're telling me I'm actually gonna be in the midst training to be one. I'm not gonna just say I wanna be a lawyer. I'm actually gonna be a lawyer. That scared me, and that meant so much to me. And unfortunately, I applied to 8 schools and none of them accepted me or waitlisted me. I got feedback from some law schools telling me hey, we liked your personal statement. We think you're a good candidate for whatever, but your LSAT score isn't exactly what we're looking for. So we recommend, boosting that up and trying again next year. So I was all right, bet. So some changes I made throughout that 1 year buffer was that I took an LSAT Prep program, because before I was just kind of studying it by myself. I took a program for 2 months, and it was okay, I needed more than 2 months to prepare for the LSAT, and I definitely needed a well thought out program or course to teach me how to even take this test, because obviously what I did before wasn't working for me. So I actually got a scholarship for a Kaplan LSAT program. And so I took that, and I was able to boost my score from a 138 to a 151. So I was really happy with that increase. So come again 2021, when I applied with a 151 LSAT and then a 376 GPA, and then the resumes, personal statements, and letters of recommendations. I, again, filed that all together, sent it off to 6 law schools, and as you saw per the last video, I got accepted to the one I'm supposed to be at, Elon Law. So also, I don't know if this is of interest to you guys, but for personal statement wise, I personally wrote about my inspiration of why I wanted to go into immigration law via the 2017 family separation at the southern border, and how I remember for a whole week straight, I saw just straight news of how families were being separated, and how children were being put at trial. And I was wow, that really put a burden on my heart to go into that field and hopefully try to make a difference for some people's lives. So I talked about that experience. I also talked about some advocacy work I've done in high school, college, going to immigration conferences, working or volunteering at Casa de Maryland, translating the N400, which is a citizenship forum for some people. But some tips I would offer you guys in applying to law school is, 1, I would recommend getting a program. Learn that from my mistake. Get a program. It's an investment. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is an investment. It's about $1,000, $2,000 minimum to get an LSAT prep program. But to counteract that, I would urge you guys to look for scholarships that will give them to you. And that also goes, I figured, for the bar too. It's like for academic materials, I have learned that there's many opportunities to find scholarships. And if you look ahead of time and apply, you're able to get some of those financial resources rather than paying out of your own pocket. So if you know you're interested in the legal field, Google search scholarships that will, or from companies that will help pay for those. The ones I personally use, and I don't mind linking it down below, it was like Lex Scholars. I'll link it down below. A second thing I would say is when you apply to law school, ask the admissions if you can have a waiver, because obviously why would you want to pay for something if you know you can get it for free? Many times these law schools, if you just ask, they'll give it to you. And so I would just say, just email them, hey, I'm interested in this school. Are you guys able to give me a waiver, blah, 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 blah. And this is my LSAC number. And they will give it to you. I think I've done this like 6 times, like asked 6 schools if they can give me a free waiver, and none of them have rejected me. It's just like, they'll just give. You ask and you will receive. That's Bible. That's Bible, and it works for everything. So just feel your courage and just ask. And when you study for the LSAT, I would advise that you do train to get a high score, because those scores are going to translate into scholarships. And those scholarships, obviously, is going to save you from debt. So I would say when you prepare for the LSAT, take that seriously. Don't think of it as like, maybe they won't count it as much if I have a higher GPA like I did. Like, don't go in that mindset. Go with the mindset of like, I'm gonna get the highest score that I can so I can get the most scholarships I can. And I'll also say this to you, even if you have an LSAT and let's say you get a 160 and you take it again and you get a 162 or 161, if you increase by 1 or 2 points, I would say that you go back to that admissions and be like, hey, I've increased 1 or 2 points. Could you please increase my scholarship or financial aid package? Because like I said, you have so much opportunities and resources available to you if you would just ask. So take use of those opportunities and just ask. Ask for fee waivers and ask for an increase of scholarship if you're able to get your LSAT score increased too. Hopefully now onto the video, you'll be able to see a week of my life in law school, and I will see you next trimester. No, but for real, I think I'll do like 1 video per trimester. That's a good momentum streak. So my first class every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is torts. Torts is about civil suits such as battery, assault, and negligent cases. As you can tell, this is the library, and usually after torts, I come down to do some homework with some friends. This is my cake. This is my cake. These are my friends. Look at that. Just getting her coffee. This is civil procedure, basically about how to start a lawsuit and keep it going. This is Nick. This is Hannah. Depending on how much homework I have on that day, I'll usually eat between 6 or 7 or sometimes 8, and I'll just do homework in between those times. I usually aim to be in bed by 10:30 every night so that I could pray and read my word one more time before I go to bed. If you guys are interested in a get ready with me or get ready to bed with me routine, let me know and I can definitely do that for the next coming videos. On Tuesdays at 8:30, I have legal writing class called LMC. Every Tuesday, Elon Law gives us free donuts and coffee, and for Hispanic Heritage Month, Hola gave us pan dulce. Okay, hey team, I'm currently going to one of my professor's office hours. Just got out of LMC and I'm just gonna go meet with her to see if I can get some good feedback for my essay that's due this Thursday. So yeah. I'm not as consistent as I want to be when it comes to exercising, but on days when my workload is less, I do try to get in a good run at least to release that form of stress. And after a good run, I of course shower, eat, and get right back into studying. On days in which I don't have a caretaker and I don't have a lot of homework that day, I take a walk with my grandmother for about 30 minutes. This day was an exception. I usually don't cook. I live at home with my mom and brother, so thankfully my mother does the cooking. But on days in which I don't have a lot going on, like I said, I will cook. But again, that's maybe like once or twice a month. I rarely do this, and I'm grateful for my mother for taking on this responsibility. In addition to legal writing, on Thursdays I have legal research at 1:30. And the rest of my day and routine is the same. I completely forgot to film my Friday day because I really didn't do much. This was very much a, a random do whatever it comes day. But it ended up well. I watched a movie with a friend and that movie was good. It was called The Shack. Highly recommend tissues. Now it's past midnight and I have plans to go hiking tomorrow, which I will record. I will remember to do that. So I will catch you all up tomorrow for the weekend. On Saturdays, I usually do homework from 12 to 6, but given that this week was fall break, I went hiking with a friend. On Sundays, I attend service at 9 a.m. and this shirt is designed by an organization my friend works with. It's pretty cool. On Sundays, my school opens from 12 to 10, but I usually stay from like 12 to 6, depending on, again, how much I have to get done. And here I'm just giving you a quick overview of the general main floor of the school. Going past the fridges and microwaves, I'm going to show you my locker coming up. In my locker, I have a gym bag, my books, some water bottles, and that's it. This is the classroom where I have my torts and civil procedure in. To the left are all lockers of other people, and we also have this board of why people want to be lawyers. These are my favorite responses.
that's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and please let me know of any more ideas you would like to see from me for the next one.